All right, Ben, let me give you a walk around the boat here. So, start at the back, we got the pump. This is the water supply for the muffler. So you push the little tab in, and that will release it. So you push in, release. If you inadvertently bump that, that will lock the fitting, and you won't be able to put it on. So if you can't get it on for some reason, just push it in, it will reset, and you can give it a push in there. Taking the pump off, you got your clamp. You undo that. A little pull back quick release. It's a little ball quick release. Give it a little shake, and it will pull out. You have your flex ring. You get your intake grate. You'll get stuff stuck in there from time to time. You'll have to stop and pull over and clear it. But here's your pump. You got all needle thrust bearings in there. The shaft gets greased. Whoa! The shaft gets greased with a little grease fitting right there. I use green grease. You can get it from any auto parts store. But that goes in that hole bearing and will grease the shaft. You can put a little bit of grease on the splines once in a while too, is a good idea. It's a V-band clamp, so make sure when you're going to clamp it back on that you have it seated, and it doesn't take much effort at all. And you can put that over there to make sure it's secure. And you can pull back on the little spring there, and again, doing this one-handed, line that up and you can let go. So there's your pump. Drain plug, pretty self-explanatory. Taking the hood off, you have these, you gotta pull up and back. And then pull up, and you want to make sure that the muffler outlet clears. So go back, and there's your engine. That's what the bottom of the hood looks like, and that section right there goes down inside that plenum. So we got your engine. This is your water cool muffler. It's stainless. Again, there's another one of those fittings. Same thing. When I take this off, I like to tuck it up in that handle. That way it's in the way when you go to put the hood on, so that if you forgot to hook it up, that will be a reminder. Okay, plug it in. So make sure you plug in your water supply, because if you forget that, you're just going to be filling your haul with water, and you don't want that. When you do unhook it and you're going to take the motor out, the reason why this is so long, so you can tuck it up behind there. That way if you go to change your oil or anything, you tip the motor or you're moving it around, water won't be pouring out of here, because water will be sitting in here in the muffler at that level. And if you tilt the motor, it will start to run out this hose. So if you just tuck it up behind there like that, it won't be dripping all over the place on you. Alright. Quick release balls on the choke and on the throttle. Takes a little bit of practice, but there you go. You'll see when you move the throttle that will move the springs. Now, there is a governor hooked up on this that doesn't limit any speed at all. So don't think that you're going to disable a governor and get more speed out of this. That's not the way this works. So leave the governor alone. It is crucial to keep on there. Has nothing to do with limiting RPM. What it does is it puts you right there. That's idle. That's your throttle linkage. This is your throttle cable. Right now I'm holding it back at idle. right there is full throttle. The engine is off. The governor spring right here wants to open the throttle. When the motor revs up, it's constantly wanting to bring it back to idle again. So your pulling on this cable is overriding all of that and making it go to full throttle right there. But when the motor shuts off, it wants to go to full throttle to keep it running. But as such, when you go to start, this needs throttle. It needs to have the throttle open when you go to start it. It doesn't like to start at idle. So that's why I leave the governor intact. I hope that makes sense, that it makes starting a lot easier when it's hot and cold. So your choke is spring loaded, so it will come back on its own. When you push the knob in, it will come back. This is your ignition control harness. Again, one hand and it's cold in here, so whatever. But you get the point. You push that in, those will separate real easy. Again, 50 amp battery connector, comes apart real easy. This is your tank vent. You want this to be hooked up. If you haven't run the boat in a while and the carburetor is dry, pull that vent off, and then you can blow through that tube and you'll see fuel get pushed like that. Then you can take and just plug it back in to the hull vent right up in there. All right. Here is the plenum. You pop that open. Come in your storage hatch. Here's your emergency pull start. So you line up the two holes there. You hold that with one hand, and then with the other hand you can come over here and you can pull to start it if the battery is dead or something, whatever. But just emergency, if you need to have that pull start, that's your pull start. Once you're done with it, pull it back off, stick it back in your storage compartment. Sorry, this is all flopping around here. I'm one-handed. You put it back on. Make sure these go on the outside, as you can see there. I know it's a little janky, but the Velcro holds it in place. And there's your plenum back intact again. Gas tank, self-explanatory. Yeah, just unscrew it. And you got about a half a tank in there. It's a 3-gallon tank, so. But there's your clutch down there, and the remote grease hall bearing. And to go back to the throttle linkage here, once you've disconnected both your throttle and your choke, you simply lift up and pull back, and that will release that cable assembly. To remove the motor, that red lever right there, you just reach down and you pull it out. That unlocks the base, and then the motor will simply slide back, or slide forward, I'm sorry. Now you'll see the pump lines are still engaging the pump, or the clutch. So what you would do is you would pop the clamp and just rock that pump back. That pulls it out of the clutch. And then the motor will lift out, and it's hard. There we go. So the motor is out of the cradle now. You see the little spools on the bottom of the feet, and they go in the motor mount. So trying to do all this stuff one hand, it makes things look difficult, but it's really not that hard. Once it drops in the cradle, then you can just push that lever forward, and the motor will go back. Then you can take and wiggle your pump around, give it a little tap there, it'll engage the clutch, clamp it back down, and motor is in. And of course, make sure you hook all your fuel lines and water lines and throttle cables and whatnot up. And yeah, you're back together again. So, like I said, when you put the hood on, you're putting it on, making sure that the outlet clears the hood there, and then just kind of give it a little jiggle until you feel it settle down, and then you can put your rubber hood latches back on again. But yeah, nice little storage hatch in there. Oh, there is the registration stickers. Yeah, I think I had inadvertently ended up with 2 registrations. So anyhow, there's extra stickers because I already stuck some on the front up there, which doesn't matter. You're going to get your own in California. So, but there's your title and your bill of sale that I sent you pictures of. That will be in there. That is secured now. That's your storage hatch. There is your battery. It's a little 12-volt AGM, so it's sealed. Nothing to worry about there. There's another little pad, life preserver thing, which that's yours. You can have it. You got 2 paddles down there. This is your it's a kill switch, but that's a dead man switch. You know, your safety lanyard. You clip that on you. If you fell out of the boat, it would turn the boat off. There's your ignition box. We have 12-volt power. You have a breaker. If anything happens, you just push the breaker to reset it should you accidentally pop something. Here's your master power. So let's turn some light on here. So here's your power. Power's on. You can start. There is an accessory power. That's right there. That turns power on to, let's see. That one is, trying to read it. I got Sharpie marker on there, and it yeah, so that one right there is to the keys, the power switch, the main power switch, and that'll turn on. And this one is the accessory switch I showed you on the side. That way, if you want to run fish finder or depth finder, bilge pump, whatever, you have 2 accessory options there, and those are the pigtails for that. So cold start, you want to pull the choke out all the way, turn the power on, which, there you go, and then depending on the temperature, you'll probably let the choke out for a while, and you can ease it back in. If it's too cold out, it might stall on you, but you just pull the choke and restart it. Yeah, it's a little cold here. All right, windshield. Get quick release pins. If you want to take the windshield out, it will fit up inside there. Steering, got a little sticker there. Pull back to the left, push forward to go right. Here's your throttle. That is a tension screw. If you tighten that up, the throttle will stay where you put it. And I usually leave mine tight so I can just let go and it keeps on trucking. But that's something you can use and get used to and play with. I think that's about it. I think you got a fire extinguisher in here, and you got little pouches here on the side of the seat. You can put some little stuff in, but you really don't need to store anything in that because you have that big old storage hatch now to put all your stuff in. So, all right, I think that pretty much wraps it up. You got some rod holders there. They were in the boat when I got it, so obviously I left them there. And yeah, so I have a cover. I'm going to put the cockpit cover on here, wrap things up there. I'll stick the windshield down inside, so it's in there. The clips will be on the windshield, and we'll get this thing loaded up and off to you in the morning. All right, man. Thanks again.